Hey everybody, welcome to our first real episode of the Coach's Corner. Today we're going to talk about working with an online coach. It's a topic that we've seen a lot of pros and cons on lots of different blogs or video blogs, maybe they're called vlogs, and we just want to talk about our perspective of it. So Ryan's going to get us started.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the communication, the taking proper videos, and consistency. The consistency is going to refer specifically to yourself as a client or as an athlete. The communication between you and a coach is really, really important. If you're not communicating something, then they're not going to get the other end of it, so they're kind of left in the dark and they can't do their jobs that you've hired them to do. One of the big things, some of the biggest key takeaways you're going to want to make sure you do is to have your goals set, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You also want to make sure that you're telling your coach if you're beat up, if you're tired, if your nutrition or if your hydration are off point, because you can have a bad day just for those specific reasons, and your coach is not going to know that because they're not there with you in person, which isn't a bad thing. Coaches can always compensate for it. So if you're about to go to your training session, you're like, damn, I am really, really down in the dumps today. I'm going to let my coach know so that if they need to or if they feel it's appropriate, they can adjust for you. Some days we all need that quick, good workout that just gives you full of blood and endorphins, and you're not down in the dumps and feeling like crap, because let's face it, you can't be a rock star every day, right?
Yeah. What about proper videos? So how do I make sure that my videos match what you need?
All right, so for the videos, if you're doing at least 3 sets, try to get 3 different angles. If you are trying to judge your depth and all you're ever getting is a video from the front or a video from the back, you're never going to get that good one as well. You can't see things like your knees opening up. Sometimes you can see leaning forward, or you can see other issues, but they're not. If all you ever do is take one side, that's all that the coach can go off from. So that's all I can be like, okay, well, you're not doing something. Certain video angles can basically kind of have a blind side to them, and they don't help out very well.
Yeah, no, definitely. As a mental skills coach, I want to caveat and add on to a couple things that Ryan said. Working with clients, I've seen a lot of athletes come in with goals that aren't very realistic, and I've seen the struggle between the coach and athlete on, well, I want to hit this or I want to do this, and the coach is trying to bring them kind of back down to earth. And I think it's normal for us to want to do well. We're athletes, we're a little bit of perfectionists and competitive, so it makes sense. But what ends up happening is we develop these secret goals otherwise, where we tell our coach we want one thing, but we actually want another, and we don't say anything. So come competition or training day, we are almost always let down because our coach is programming for realistic goals, but we have in our head, oh, I want to actually hit this. So basically, at the end of the day, if we're not communicating what our actual goals are and creating goals that are realistic, but still challenging, which is fine, then we are going to be let down and disappointed, and your coach can't work with you as well as they could. So, and that goes into the communication. So making sure you and your coach are talking not only just about injuries and feeling down that day or not having energy, but also about what it is that you want from working with them. So, and a good online coach is going to work with you and be very upfront with you about their expectations, as well as, you know, your goal setting. So I think those are all very important things.
Yep. Something to remember, huh?
Oh.
Yeah. Something to remember as well is the consistency. If you give your coach all these different goals and you guys both agree on them, and say you're supposed to be training like 4 days a week and you're coming in twice a week, and you're wondering why you're not hitting your numbers that you feel you should be, your consistency is going to be a really big thing. If your coach or whatever your way that your workouts are getting tracked, if they're not logged in so that the coach can actually see you've done them, then they have no idea, and they have to assume that you're actually doing all the work you're supposed to. And that goes back into communication as well, or the proper videos. If you're not taking the videos and sending them to your coach, he's not going to see them, she's not going to see them, they're not going to know that you've been doing your training, and then they don't know your consistency is there. So basically, they're just kind of flying blind, hoping that you're sticking to the plan that you guys all agreed upon. One of those other really, really big key takeaways is going to get discussed here in a minute once I regain my train of thought.
Having trouble with the key takeaways?
Yeah, there's one really, really good one that a lot of people have talked about. Yes. So you're going to hear the words, "it depends." Those are the two most damn frustrating words in strength sports. But the biggest thing is it really does depend. If somebody starts talking in absolutes, then there's an issue. I personally feel if there's an issue, and there's other people that will agree with me on that as well. The only absolutes are basically just trying to do your best. If you're always trying to do your best as an absolute, that's a good thing. But you can't, if you're talking to your coach and you're like, oh, hey, you know what, I did all the numbers on this, and this says that if I do 3 reps here, that I'll have a 1 rep max of this. And you ask your coach, and you ask them, and you're like, so does that sound about right? And your coach goes, it depends. He's not bullshitting you. She's not bullshitting you. They're not just trying to, cover their ass. They are actually legitimately doing what they should be doing and saying it really depends. The only way to know what your 1 rep max is or what you can do on this given day with this given weight is to do it. And once you've done it, that's your number. You can always adjust it by doing more, but that is your number for the day. That is your number for that point in time. There's no magical formula that says if you do 10 reps of 200, your max is going to be 250. Because we all know that repetition work and max effort work are both totally different. They tax your system in different ways.
Anything else?
That's it for today.
Ryan doesn't know how to stick to the 5-minute mark, guys.
I don't.
Well,
We'll work on it.
We're going to talk more about that topic actually in the near future. So Ryan gave you a little bit of a preview. So I hope that you guys learned something from this. Did you learn that in school?
I did.
So
In my
fancy.
film school.
Man, you took a film school?
Okay, so end of the story. We're done. Bye.
Have a great day, guys. Let us know if there's anything you want to talk about.